One greetings from the high 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans. Happy Saturday to all of you. Hope you all are well. Please have a safe weekend. As most of you know, this is football season, and I misquoted uh, the schedule for today for the UT Volunteers. They are playing Kentucky. For some reason, I've got Georgia on the brain. That's an upcoming game, so forgive the discrepancy. But today, the University of Tennessee plays the University of Kentucky. So if you are traveling to and fro, please be safe uh, because most cities have games and traffic gets hectic. And then people get a little excited when they're rooting for their teams. But thank you all so much for joining me. This is a public announcement video. You're entitled to your opinion on any given subject. Let me say this. I thank all my subscribers. I thank those who view me. But I want to say this to a person by the name of Lorraine. I assume you live in Georgia or the surrounding area of Savannah, Georgia. I don't easily intimidate. I don't care about anybody protesting anywhere. But I don't need anybody telling me I'm not down there because I don't have to be down there. I'm not obligated to be on Buckhalter Road. If you feel the need that there's something going on in your area that you don't like judicially, then you should be at the police department rallying for what you think is an injustice pertaining to Quentin Simon. You should be at the city hall, city council meetings, not me. I don't live in Savannah, Georgia. I haven't lost anything at 535 Buckhalter Road. I haven't lost anything in Savannah, Georgia. And in no way am I going to risk my livelihood by catching a charge, standing out on a public street, cussing and fussing. Now, if it was my son, child, mother who was murdered by somebody, and I thought that person committed the crime, then yeah, I'd have a right to go and hoop and holler at that person's door. But in the end, I still would be disrespecting the neighbors, even if I felt I was right, even if I felt somebody had harmed my family. In the end, I still would be making noise. Even if I thought somebody had killed my mother, my son, my brother. See, that's what's wrong with a lot of you. You type things in and put things in comment boxes, but you don't think of the repercussions of doing things. What purpose am I going to serve myself by getting arrested? Now, if I am defending myself against harm, then hell yeah, I'll take the charge if the police detectives decide I need to be arrested. But there is no way I'm going to travel hours down a highway, rent a hotel room to stand outside on a public street yelling and screaming. So let me say this to you, Lorraine, or whoever you are. Do you have bond money for Angela if she got arrested down there? No, you don't. You don't have the bond money for the people that got arrested last week. And I don't think I heard or saw them in any of those videos in the past day or two either. Because you know what they probably said to themselves? We don't need to be back over here. Because we got a life, a family, house, bills to pay. And it's not going to serve us being locked up in Chatham County Jail to prove a point to the general public. See, people don't understand that talk is cheap. I value my safety. I could go outside my door right now and get hurt, shot, ran over by a car. So why the hell am I going to travel hours down the highway to catch a charge for loitering? Disorderly conduct. That makes no sense. But perhaps maybe that is how you live. And you are like a lot of people, you're looking for somebody to blame by saying, well, you all aren't down here. Everybody in America knows that the boy is missing and supposedly in a landfill. But they don't have to get up and go travel to Savannah to prove a point. Because I don't think a point's being proven down there, standing down there, hooping and hollering and arguing with these people, the family sitting on the lawn, they're engaging. Each person is self-serving. And if that's what they want to do, that's their choice. But I don't have to do it, and I ain't going to do it. I can easily make a phone call to the chief of police. I can easily make a call to city council. That would be, to me, more productive than traveling down the highway, wasting money, making a fool out of myself to get likes and views and end up in somebody else's video to get likes and views. I don't rock like that. And if you feel like you need to unsubscribe to Everyday Shenanigans, then please do so. I do not mind. I've had worse things happen than somebody unsubscribing. I allow people to talk, chat, but when you become, to me, ornery in the comment section, your ass is booted out. Because you don't tell somebody where they should go and what they should do. Writing long Dear Jane letters. Nobody cares about that stuff but somebody that's a sociopath and a crackpot. And that's my message to you all today. We can agree to disagree, but I'm not about to be intimidated and listen to crazy talk about what's going on down there in Savannah, Georgia. Because in the end, everything that's transpiring down there is for show. Nobody involved in the situation is genuine. The woman has killed her child. She does not care. Her mother is upholding her. Her family is upholding her. You have people that are choosing to uphold her that's on platforms, and that is their choice. That has nothing to do with Angela. That has nothing to do with me. I don't know one person down there on Mccarta Road. I don't know any of the protesters. I don't know any of the YouTubers. I don't give a damn. If they want to go down there and make a fool out of themselves, that's their choice. That's a public choice. That's nothing to do with me. I'm not going anywhere. I have bills to pay up here. Would you like to come pay some of these bills? Would you like to come pay some of these high dollar bills I pay? Come pay some of these bills. You gonna bond me out if they arrested me for loitering, running up on the property, cussing and fussing on private property? You got my bond money? You gonna explain to a job why I couldn't come to work because I was loitering on 535 Mccarta Road? You gonna explain to my friends and family what the fuck I'm doing getting arrested in Savannah, Georgia? No, you're not. So you go out there and protest. The world is not coming to an end in Savannah, Georgia. Everything going on down there pertaining to Mccarta Road is a choice. The chief decided to let her walk. That's a choice. The chief decided to name her as a suspect and not arrest her. That's his choice. The people loitering, that's their choice. The family sitting out on the lawn engaging in the foolishness, that's their choice. Those choices have nothing to do with Big Ange. I have a life right here in East Tennessee, and I'm going to continue to keep it up here. I don't have to travel down the highway to prove a point to anybody. So you need to stop giving ill advice in the comment section of what somebody needs to do and what others aren't doing by not being on Mccarta Road. The subject of the hour is pertaining to Diana Mccarta. Many of you support Miss Mccarta. Some of you don't. Once again, you're entitled to your opinion. I do not believe in bullying and stalking and doxing people harassing people. As I said, if it's not pertaining to you personally, stay out of it. But where I have the problem right now is this latest information coming out, accusations being released, her publicly speaking again about the children in the pool, all this content she's uploading in lives being blocked on Facebook because these certain people are harassing her and flagging her social media pages. It's starting to get out of control. You see, when you decided to go to Facebook, Miss Mccarta, the first time, you put yourself and your family out there and in harm's way when you spoke. You are free to talk wherever you want. It is your amendment, first right, your right to speak. But that's the thing about talking on a public platform such as Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube, the news. When you say something, you can't take it back. You can apologize, you can try to correct it, but it's out there. I don't think Leilani and Billy Joe would have ever mentioned your name, at least not right away, if indeed they wanted to implicate you as a culprit in taking the child. So originally, they never mentioned your name. Let's just say that. You put yourself out there by speaking to clarify October 5th. You shouldn't have said anything because now you're public enemy number one to this family and certain people that want to enable them. And that is their choice that they don't want to like you and listen at lies, because that's the thing about life. You can't make people understand common sense. You can't make people understand the truth. And when people are guilty, they need a scapegoat. And anybody that enables them will join in. That's their foolishness. But you are putting yourself in harm's way to continually keep talking, because I don't see the point now. I don't see the point. Because you're now explaining yourself. You're explaining yourself on things you've already said. That you feel people are misconstruing, twisting your words, as you said, arguing with you about the DHS situation. I knew that was going to happen. I already knew that was going to happen. Because 1 minute in a post, it didn't seem like you had called. You said, I directed my concerns to Billy Joe. Then when we look at a newspaper article, it says that you did call DFACS. So now people are going to question, what's the truth? Just please stop talking. Don't say anything else on a public platform. Don't answer any more questions via messenger, text messaging, because you see, you're now starting to contradict yourself when you say, in the beginning, feel free to contact me, come over to pray, but I don't want to talk about Quentin. I don't want to answer any questions about Quentin. But yet you continually go live explaining circumstances pertaining to Quentin Simon. So it's a contradiction. And you don't have to explain anything to anybody. You don't owe anybody an explanation. The only person you needed to explain yourself to are law officials. And obviously, they have not deemed you a suspect, so I wouldn't worry about what other people think. And that's the thing you need to understand, is that nobody knew who you were, who you are. I didn't know you. I didn't know you kept the children. And I wouldn't have known that until you opened your mouth. And you came out to say, well, I want to clear up some things. What was there to clear up? Because nobody knew you. The only people knew you were the children and the family. And then law officials. Other than that, all of Savannah didn't know you. All of Georgia didn't know you, and the rest of the world did not know you. So you put yourself out there when you went to Facebook. And once you called his government name out, naturally, somebody got wind of the Facebook Live. It traveled over here to YouTube, and that's all she wrote. And now you're going live often to try to explain something you said in a previous live. And you shouldn't have to explain yourself. And I don't think you should be talking to people in Messenger, random strangers. That is not a good idea because you don't know who you're talking to. And you can't say, well, I don't want to talk about Quentin, but yet you keep going live talking about Quentin and explaining yourself. Why do you feel the need to explain yourself? And I'm not being mean in this live I'm making right now, but it's out of hand now. It's way out of hand. Because you feel obligated now to explain yourself. And now you'll be back making another live trying to explain what you were trying to say about them being in the pool, because that was left open-ended. I had a lot of questions myself about the pool incident. Well, did you call the police? Did you call DHS? What did you say to Billy Joe? What did you say to the mother when you saw the kids? Did you try to wake the mother up? So see, you left that open-ended, even with the pool commentary. So that's why sometimes it's best not to speak, because if you're not going to explain everything thoroughly, you leave it open for people to question what actually happened. And this is what you're going to continually do every time you speak. You've got to now go back and re-explain what you said or what you intended to say or what somebody didn't understand. And to me, that is getting old. I would not keep explaining myself to the people out here. I would not keep owing people an explanation about what I said 2 weeks ago or yesterday. And every time you speak, that is what you're doing currently. I don't know what's going on with you down there. I'm not in your shoes, but I know that you put yourself in this situation to have to now keep going live and explaining yourself. And I don't feel the need. I don't think you should be going live now. The damage is done. They're angry with you naturally because they're guilty. They're making you public enemy number one, along with that Danny Youngkin and whoever else they want to throw under the bus, Bubba, whomever. They are vile people, and you knew this when you dealt with them. There is no secret that these people were good citizens when you met them. You tried to do the right thing with these people. It did not work, and now they have turned on you. And this is why I have said this in all of my lives pertaining to people in general, not just this Quentin Simon case. You can't be nice to people. You can't do things for people. You can't extend an olive branch because they will burn you. And that's what's happening to you right now. You extended an olive branch. Somebody came to you saying somebody needed a babysitter, and now you're the brunt of the BS pertaining to Quentin Simon by his mother and family. They never cared for you, Miss Mccarta. And I think you know this now. And you are possibly hurt right now. You also possibly may be feeling vengeful right now. Your best thing to do is stop talking about those people. Don't say anything else about that family. Don't say anything about nothing. I wouldn't even do the lives anymore. If you want to talk to your friends personally, privately, that's your prerogative. But I would even be careful in doing that, as not to be recorded in a conversation. Because you should know by now, everybody isn't your friend. And you can't trust people. And the fact that, yes, as someone has said in the chat, you refused the court TV interview, you need to be very careful about even talking on the phone with people that you think are your friends. Because you may say something in that conversation that gets released to the public. or sold to the Sun or Daily Mail, and you'll be very angry. I wouldn't talk to anybody on the phone about Quentin Simon, period. Because down the road, God willing, this case will go to court, and anything said personally, privately, on a Facebook Live, TikTok, all that's going to be in court. And you just said that you fear for your safety of your family. So how is going live better than talking to the news or court TV? It's not. It's the same. You're still speaking publicly. And people are now sharing your information around. And people keep copies of these videos. There's no such thing as erasing something because somebody will keep a copy of the video. Yes, talk to the police. Another thing that I noticed yesterday was that when people were filming the family on the lawn, Billy Joe was talking to the certain YouTuber who was enabling her about your child walking down the street filming them. Let me say this to you about that. Miss Mccarta, don't involve your children in this mess. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with your child walking down the street filming the protesters, the Simon family. It's a bad idea because, one, those people were vile in their conversations. One male yelling obscenities at another female, nasty comments to her, and whether he agrees with her enabling the family or whatever her reasons for being down there, a child has no business down there. I don't even condone the people who are bringing their own children down there, but that is their choice. You are involved in this case, so you should know better than to have your daughter walking down there filming. I do not know if you sent your child down there. I'm not accusing you of sending your child, but if you did, you should not have done that. Because you can't tell the public, I don't want to talk about Quentin, but you continue to talk about him. I don't want to answer questions about Quentin, but you keep explaining yourself in lives. You don't want to talk to court TV, the news. You don't want to be on camera. You don't want your government name used, but you keep going live. You say you fear for your safety. It's why you did not talk to the news, didn't want your name on the news. So people are going to wonder, then why is your child walking down there filming this mess? She is a child. I do not know her age, but she's under the age of 18. She has no business down there in that drama. That is not a place for a child. And if a person thinks that's a place for a child, you don't need children. Because anything could happen, anything could jump off. She could get hurt, knocked down, and she doesn't need to be listening to profanities. As I told people, if you're cursing at your own house, that's your business. But you should not be taking your children around other people with potty mouths and yelling baby killers, calling people, whores and bitches and all that type of talk. That is not appropriate. That is not appropriate at all. But in the end, that is their choice to have their children there. You are the one making the claims that you fear for your family. So therefore, your child does not need to be down there filming Billy Joe and Leilani and their family or the protesters. Because anything could happen. And do you want something bad to happen to your child? I would hope you would not. This is why I'm making this video directly to you. It's out of control now. The police are allowing these people to lauder and disturb the peace. There might be a handful that are actually just sitting there with signs and not saying anything. But my thing is, you're there amongst the people who are disruptive. So people are going to group you the same. Once again, a private choice. But it is not a place for children. It's not a place to send children on their own. And Billy Joel made a point of mentioning that during a live stream. Because at first I didn't even know what she was talking about. Person out here walking by themselves, blah, blah, blah. And I thought, who is she speaking of? So I was kind of stunned to hear your child was down there by herself filming. That is unacceptable. Now, you all can agree to disagree. Subscribe, unsubscribe. It is your choice. But I do not believe in involving children in grown people's business. Because if something happens, how are you going to explain why your child was down there, got hit by a car, knocked down, somebody started saying something to her out of the way, the Simon family could say stuff to her out of the way? You would feel horrible if something happens to your child down there. You would feel horrible if something happened to her at the schoolhouse pertaining to this mess. Out somewhere else in public at a store, somebody said something to her. You don't know who's watching. And as you said, you fear for your safety, then don't involve your children. That's my message today. Well, that's the whole point, Debbie. Billy Joel and all of them knew exactly what they were doing when they sat on the lawn. That was a deliberate tactical move to sit out there on the lawn. And that is their choice. Because by law, they can sit out there on the lawn. Now, the average person wouldn't want to sit on the front of the lawn knowing all that mess is going on. But it goes to show you their mentality when they decided to yell back at the news, yell at the protesters, live streaming what was going on, stupid YouTuber engaging in the yelling and trying to call out the other YouTubers there. All that is childish behavior that has nothing to do with Quentin Simon. And so for those of you that's in La La Land that want to continually say, this is for him, it's not for him. He is dead. He is dead. And sadly, he was born to the wrong people. The wrong people were not rearing him properly, and now he's dead because of them. So nothing going on Buckhalter Road is beneficial to Quentin Simon. Nothing they're doing is bringing him back, nor help finding him in that landfill. And as I made the video last night, the reality check is everybody needs to go look at the landfill. And stand out there and watch those people who are diligently trying to find this child. That's where the hard work is. That's where the real work and concern is at the landfill. Not 535 Buckhalter. Not YouTube live streams. Not Facebook live streams. TikTok live streams. IG live streams. Snapchat live streams. That's not justice for Quentin Simon. Justice is at the Waste Management Company. The FBI agents who came from around the United States to pilfer through trash. The Chatham County police officers who are out there. If you all want to do something productive, since you want to tell the Queen why it's okay to be down there making a ruckus, how about everybody get together and get their money together and supply water bottles and Gatorade to the people searching? Offering food and snacks to the people at the landfill, the workers at the landfill. That to me is more productive and conducive for Simon, okay? For little Quentin. Those people are thirsty, they're sweaty, they're hot. Thank God it's not the middle of summer and they're out there searching. They would be sick as dogs in 100-degree heat. Georgia gets very hot during the summer. That's why I said you all aren't really thinking about what is going on pertaining to the search of this child. That bullshit on Buckhalter ain't nothing. The YouTube live streams, the clicks, the views, that ain't nothing but entertainment. And simply sad and disgusting because it's getting old 3 weeks in now. The accusations, the gossip, the he said, the she said, everybody trying to verify what's the truth, who's telling the truth, who's lying, who was there, who was in the house, who ate it, who knows. Those people are thick as thieves. Ain't you ought to figure that out? They don't care about themselves. That is why the baby is dead. Nobody has any self-preservation and love for self. So there's no way they would love another human being. That is why one is dead and two are in foster care. There is no love at 535 Buckhalter. Never was, never will be. So I say if you live in the general area and you want to do something kind, get some people together in the community, churches, and take some snacks, water, Gatorade over to the site and leave it there for those people to have some type of nourishment and refreshments while taking breaks. That to me is more productive than that shit going on over there in Buckhalter. Because in the end, this story will die down. Billy Joe will be gone back to work, perhaps. Her husband gone. You don't even see him, which I find very interesting. Where is the husband? Possibly not wanting any parts of this mess. There'll be another baby in a dumpster. There'll be another missing kid. There'll be another dead kid. So who's ever listening to this video, if you live in the Savannah area, you want to be helpful to this case, help the people that's working in the landfill. Put something in a box for them. As I said, water bottles, Gatorade, something to help them because they're the ones doing the hard work, not the people hooping and hollering and screaming. That's not helping Quentin. That's not helping Savannah. That's not helping anything. Quentin's dead. Sadly, he's gone. And it's just a matter of recovering him. And I believe going to the police department would be a better fit to stand out there and get attention towards the police department. City council, the courthouse, that's where the rallying should be. Hey, why aren't you arresting Lonnie Simon? Why is she still walking free? Why did you name her as a suspect but didn't arrest her? That's where your concern should be. Miss Mccarta, I don't wish any harm to you and your family. Perhaps you thought you were doing the right thing by going to Facebook in the beginning, but as you see, it's gotten out of control now. And I don't think now going live is helping the situation. If you choose to continue to do the lives, that is your choice. But know that it's exacerbating what is already a jacked up situation. And please do not involve your children in being a messenger or walking back and forth and peeping and looking down there. I would not advise that. because something bad may happen to your child. And I don't think you would be able to live with yourself if somebody did something to your child down there or somewhere else. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $Big Angie 129 Cash App. Thank you all for your support. New subscribers, God bless all of you. Please have a safe weekend. It's football season. Today, the Vols play Kentucky. Go Vols. Thank you for your support. Thank you for those who are praying for the recovery of baby Q. I am praying that he is discovered, because now we're into the weekend. They're not working this weekend. And it's just depressing to know that he's out there. He's not alive. And we have these people diligently working, trying to recover him. So our focus should be on the searchers, because those are the people putting in the hard work. You all be safe. Happy weekend to all of you. God bless all of you. Justice for Quentin Simon and all the little children and babies who are missing, deceased, have not gotten justice. Prayers for our children. If you see something, say something. Be a part of the solution, not the problem. Mind the children. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you all in the chat. God bless all of you. If something else jumps off, I'll come back with more content. But thank you so much for your support. God bless all of you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we're going to get him out of there. They're going to get him out of there, honey. Don't worry about it. God got this. Thank you so much. You all have a wonderful weekend. This is Everyday Shenanigans.